He hit my belt buckle. I keep my belt buckle in the back of my pants just in case. Hi guys. So this is my last. I know. I would like to stay as well. I love you too. But I have been without the kiddos for a long time. So I'll rush off, but now about spending some more time with you guys. All right, let's do it. Anything you want to know. Now's the chance.
Now or never.
Anything. Shoe size. In European, it's like 70 or something. I'm between a 13 and a 14, depending on the shoe. Va bene? Peace? Cheese? Hi.
Hi again.
Hi again.
Yeah, you mentioned your brother before as a bad influence on you. I was just wondering, you after your accident here with Master Chow, which side of your brother was coming out more? The big brother mocking you for getting your shoulder broken by someone half your size, or the orthopedic surgeon who is actually specialized in curing injuries like that?
So my older brother's an orthopedic surgeon. So when I hurt my shoulder, I called him and I was like, I think my shoulder's hurt. And he's like, yeah, but I mean, you're talking on the phone, it's probably fine. And I was like, I've got a good pain tolerance, Jeff, my brother. And he's like, all right, when you come in, we'll x-ray. And so I left a couple days later and flew to Austin by myself and got an MRI or x-ray the next day. He told me it was pretty injured. But he goes really well into, my brother goes really well into like work mode. And he's a pretty awesome surgeon. I think my dad's favorite story to my brother is that he was in a restaurant or something, and somebody passed out, and he ran over to start looking at them, and somebody was like, hey, buddy, are you ambulance or something? He's like, no, I'm a doctor. And like went back to it, but he gets way into work mode really quickly, so he went to older protective brother mode. Thank God, because I got all nice and fixed up, and now I can move.
Yeah, but that will probably come out later.
Exactly. Thank you.
Hi, Jared.
Hi.
My question is, what was it like to film the fake supernatural documentary? And is it easy for
Fake?
you to And is it easy for you to make fun of yourself?
It was it was awesome filming the fake documentary, and it was really easy to make fun of myself. One of my favorite parts about Supernatural is being able to mock ourselves and do episodes like Real Ghostbusters or Changing Channels or French Mistake, and kind of make fun of how a lot of actors are. The cemetery, like the whole, we had a lot of fun with that, Real Ghostbusters. But I loved it. I loved it, the fake documentary. We were thinking of ideas for like a couple weeks, and then Misha would come up and film, and be like, okay, time to film. The only problem was we had to do it in between takes. So we had to go act, and I had lines, I had actual lines that Sam Winchester had to say, and then we had sort of like, not dialogue, but improvisation plans for the documentary. And so it was like breaking in between two characters. And I've played Sam a lot in the last 11 years, y'all might know, but I haven't played like fake Jared a lot. And so I was trying to like, okay, what kind of characterization, what do I do? Luckily we knew that y'all would probably have a good time and laugh, and so we could just kind of take the piss out of ourselves. And so that's what we did.
It turned out great, thank you.
Thank you, you got it. Hi.
If you have the change to do a superhero movie, who would you like to be?
Superman.
Iron Man.
That's a great question. Superhero movie. Superman would be fun. I don't know, but I want a beard. Does Thor have a beard?
Yes.
Thor. And throw the hammer. That'd be fun. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, it's my first time in the convention.
Welcome.
Thank you. In the last episode, Sam was almost became darkness.
I'm sorry, became what?
The darkness, isn't it?
Got it.
Had the mark. If he did have the mark in the end, how do you think it will turn out?
I think if Sam did get the mark of Cain, I think it would not have turned out well for him. I think that's putting it mildly. 007.
Sam is strong.
Sam is strong. Dean is strong too, and Cain was strong too. So I think one of the things we try to do with Supernatural is try and say like this is a stronger force than you could ever even imagine. And so we try to introduce these elements of the story that are, if you get this mark of Cain, then like Sam says to Dean, you're gonna have to lock me up someplace far away and throw away the key. Because Sam, if anything, just does not want another evil unleashed on the world. And I think that was his that's kind of been a running theme of Sam's life, or a running motto of Sam's life. I know the lights. Are you talking about the lights?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. How do you think I feel? So I think it wouldn't have been bad. I know he would have fought it, but I hope that Dean would have locked him away somewhere and not let that force get unleashed on the world.
Yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hi.
If you could time travel, would you go back in time and change something, or would you love to have a sneak preview of your future?
If I could time travel, would I love to change things or a sneak preview? God. That's a great question. No, it's a great question. I don't think I want to see the future. I mean, part of me is so curious that I love to know, because you feel like, but the funny part is if you see, this becomes like a movie line. But the point is what if I see my future and I don't like my future? Then I'll probably try and change the outcome, but I saw the future, so I can't change that outcome. So it would just be a source of anxiety and or depression. Or if it was like if I saw the future and I was super cool or something, I'd be like, well, now I'm going to be an asshole because I know I end up super cool or something. I don't know. But then again, I also don't want to necessarily change the past. I mean, I saw a shadow. I thought it was somebody. It's myself. I don't want to change the past necessarily. There have been things I've done in my life that I am not super proud of. If I've done something that's hurt somebody, I would like to erase that. I guess that would be my answer then. I guess I would go like change things. But then you go like, does that change who you are now? Whatever. Probably I'd like to change the past. What about you? Do you want to see the future or change the past?
No, I would go back in my past and change something I've done.
Okay. Yeah, I guess me too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi. So Supernatural has 11 seasons, and as the cast of Supernatural has changed, also the fandom has changed. So also the relationship between the cast and the fandom has changed. So how do you think this relationship has changed through the years?
Between the fans and the cast? Oh God! I mean, I think we've just gotten to know each other. I think we've seen each other, and y'all probably. I'm guessing y'all as a fandom, both here and in the States or wherever else, probably know about know more about me and my personal life than I know about you. I've gone through things, and y'all have been in my life, whether or not I was vocal about it or not. But conversely, I know that in the last 11 years, everybody in this room has gone through something, or many somethings. And I think, maybe for some people 11 years, for some people 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, however long you've watched the show. It's an honor to think that I've been a part of y'all's lives when you hit different depressions or highs or lows or rock bottoms or sideways, and hopefully my part in the show, or maybe even who I've tried to be in my real life has helped, because I know who y'all are has helped me. So I think it's just, you feel like it feels like we've grown up and gone to school together, you know? Like if you're 5 years old when you start school in first grade and you graduate in 12th grade, it's almost like we've just gone to school together for a long, long time and grown up in the process. And so for me, I guess it's just, you know, I have friends that I've been friends, I love these people, they've been friends for 2 years or 3 years or 6 months or whatever it is, but there's something really special about those friends of mine that knew me when I was a nerdy 16 or 15-year-old, nerdy 15-year-old who was like skipping the prom to go work on this 10-minute acting scene, you know? And people who supported me long before I could even possibly support them back. And then there's understanding that there are people here that would support me if I had nothing to offer to support back. And that to me is really special. So, yeah, it's just grown.
Thank you.
Yeah.
From the social media, we know that you spent a lot of good time in Austin with your family and friends. So, what's your suggestion about Austin tourism?
How long will you be there?
Yes.
If you go to Austin, there's a lot of good food.
Yes.
For me, part of the thing about Austin that I love is walking around. I mean, it's nothing like Rome. Rome is very special. I know not everybody here is from Rome. But there's a very cool, for me, Austin became, it's a great city. There's great music, there's great food, there's great outdoor activity if you like to ride bikes or jog or swim or paddleboard or kayak. But for me, for whatever reason, Austin became a place I could relax. So that's sort of why I decided to move there. And then when I finally moved back there, I called my friend Jensen and was like, hey, you should move to Austin. What? You really should move to Austin, it's pretty badass. I don't know, man. Jensen, come visit Austin. So he came, and now he lives there too. So I get to have one of my best buddies in town also. Super cool.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
My question is really simple. Which are the best and worst parts of being an actor for you?
Of being an actor?
Yeah.
God. For me, I have a funny mindset. It's probably incorrect, but I usually think that the best and worst part of anything is the same thing. And I'm going to kind of go into, for instance, I know people who they work so hard and they are just driven and committed and dedicated, and they'll work from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., whether it's at a job or whatever, and then they'll go home at 11 p.m. and do some more work, and you're like, that's a great quality, to be able to really push yourself and to be dedicated and hardworking. On the flip side, very often these people can't stop that. So then they're 70 years old and they're a grandmother or a grandfather, and they don't need to work anymore, but they still do. Like, it's just a part of you. And so I think the best and worst part about being an actor, oh God, I mean, everything. It's a really awesome blessing. Like, I know I can very often go to a restaurant that's booked up and get a seat, you know. On the flip side, I might have food dripping down my face and have someone come up and take a picture and see a picture online of like a big piece of lettuce in my teeth or something. I know I can afford finer things, but does that mean I'm going to lose appreciation for like the things I grew up with that were not finer by any means? I know people want to be my friends, but I question why they want to be my friends. It ends up making me question myself a lot. It's great blessings, it's awesome. But you kind of become a little, or I did, I kind of became a little weary and suspicious of the outside world. So you feel like you're in this position, right, where people find this hard to believe, except my friends have known me a long time, but I was a shy guy. Like I wasn't like, hey, you know, but I've had to kind of learn to find that part of myself that can be in front of people. But for me, like if I'm not somewhere, then I'm just at home. Like I'm just at home and just boring. So it's awesome to be able to go out and meet people and be, joke around and have fun and be extroverted. But my instinct is to be introverted and at home with a book and a glass of wine or something. So it makes you question a lot. Then again, maybe that's a good quality because you're questioning life and people. There are a lot of pros and cons. Ultimately, if I could go back in time, going back to a previous question, and change it, I wouldn't. I would have done what I did. And that's largely lately because people like y'all have made me feel welcome and special. So.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, I think, do it again?
Yeah, as an actor, you have a lot of auditions, so what's, how you calm down, how you fight your fears?
Can you do me a favor and say it one more time?
How did you calm down when you take some auditions?
When I take auditions, how do I calm down? I don't. It's awful. It's awful, terrible, crummy.
So what's your way to fight your fears?
I don't. It just doesn't happen. I've never. Are you an actress? Do you act? Or, oh, I must make a job audition. Like I feel horrified. I mean, I get in there and I know that I've studied and I'm prepared. I think I'm going to do a good job. I know I've done a lot of work. But I'll go into an audition and be like, is it hot in here? You know, like it's nerve-wracking. Like I start sweating and getting really nervous. Even after 16 years in the business as a relatively successful actor, I still have a tough time, difficult time, like believing in myself in that situation. It's just a really weird feeling. I've told this story before, so if you've heard it, forgive me. But I had a friend one time who came over to visit, and she was like, I had scripts by the side of my bed, and I was giving her, she was a friend of a girl I was dating, and I was giving her a tour of the house. I was like, yeah, I just bought a new house. I was like, and this is the bedroom, and this little balcony. And she saw a stack of scripts by my bed, probably this high, and she was like, oh my God, is that all the auditions you've gone on? Like, and she had just moved to LA, and she was gonna become an actress. And I looked at her, and I looked at the stack of scripts, and it was probably 20, 30 scripts that I either needed to read, or I had just read, or I was making marks in, or I was gonna audition for. Probably 20 or 30 different TV and movie scripts. And I kind of was like, you know what, follow me for a second. I walked down the stairs, walked into the garage where I had, no exaggeration, stacks of scripts in boxes like this high that I just hadn't taken to the recycling bin yet. Like stacks and stacks of hundreds and hundreds of auditions that I'd gone on and not got. And I was like, these are the auditions and meetings I've been on. And she kind of looked at me and was like, oh, because here I was on Gilmore Girls. I'd been on Gilmore Girls for 4 years. I had done 4 or 5 movies. I'd had pilots. I just bought a house. I was a successful guy. And I still had 1,000 people go like, nope, you're not good enough, or you're not what we want. It's a tough, if you have the personality type that I do, where you're kind of hard on yourself anyways, it's tough to hear people go like, nah, you're like, all right, okay, thanks. So I still don't have any secrets for how to be good at auditions, because I still think I'm awful at auditions. But if I ever figure it out, I will tweet that shit, Facebook it, I'll make sure you know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hi, so I'm turning up like a bad penny, aren't I? I wanted to ask you, sorry to see a couple of the writers go, Robbie and Jenny, but there's some new ones.
Jeremy.
And Jeremy, yeah.
Oh yeah, him.
Him. And the last one I saw was Jenny as well, Jenny Klein.
Yeah.
She's been great, 8 years. But also, there's been some great new writers too, like Nancy Wong. I just wondered what you thought of them, and if you'd had any sort of maybe recent stories about the writers, and just funny things that have happened, things you enjoyed about them.
So y'all may or may not know, but we lost our showrunner Jeremy and our writers Jenny Klein and Robbie Thompson, and those are 3 really big losses. And they gave so much to the show. I will never ever. There's not a cell in my body that begrudges them or is mad at them for moving on. I understand that. I understand their decisions. That having been said, it's tough because it's been such a family Supernatural has. And granted, Jeremy's the 3rd showrunner, so it's been done successfully a few times. And I believe that the people we still have on board, Andrew and Bob and several other talented writers, Bobo and whatnot, they'll do a great job. And I think because Supernatural is able to reinvent itself with y'all's support, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be great. I don't think we're going to be a totally different show by any means. And if they write some scripts that I'm like, this is not what I signed up for, then I'll be vocal about it. But I guess time will tell, right?
Because I thought Nancy Wong really got something.
She's great.
Yeah, and
she's great.
Robert Barry, he wrote the Werther Project. It's amazing.
Yeah, and but like Bob Singer knows Sam and Dean really well.
Oh, absolutely.
And he'll protect us, and he's going to be full time, and so I think we'll be all right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi.
I draw Solomon Dean, and I want to show you the drawing.
Say it again.
Turn.
That's scary.
That's awesome. Did you draw?
Not me.
Who drew it? Did somebody in here draw?
No, she's not here.
Damn.
She's not here, but he asked it on Facebook.
I think that is awesome. I think that is a pretty good interpretation. Good old
Does it
Sam.
look like Dean?
Yeah. He needs bow fins. Bow-legged fins. And he needs the amulet. This amulet, now that he has it back. But yeah, well done, wherever you are. Wherever you are out there, well done. Thank you.
Hi, Jared.
Hi.
Misha has told us his son, West, is learning a new language, Chinese. So I'm wondering if Thomas and Shepard is learning something new. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, Shep barely speaks English. We haven't started them just yet. Maybe that's the time to start them. But I'm really committed to having both of my kids learn a lot of foreign languages. It's strange because I know friends, acquaintances and contemporaries who have had their parents push them into sports or music or foreign language or whatever the case may be. And oftentimes that backfires. And so I just want to, I'm hoping as a parent to inspire curiosity in them, and if they come to me and ask to do something, then I will help them find the best people to have them learn. But I don't want to be like, hey Tom, time for Spanish class. Hey Shep, time for Mandarin. Get over there and work. Because even if you become really good at it, you kind of start to begrudge it. It's like Sam Winchester. He got kind of forced into hunting life, so he's awesome. He's Sam fucking Winchester. But for a long time, he begrudged it. He was upset. So I want Tom and Shep to find their own curiosity, and then I'll support that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi again, Chair. My question is about Sam freaking Winchester. We all know that Dean has his baby, Impala, and it's symbol of the show and so on. And if Sam would have also a symbol car, what type of car is it, and how Sam would call it?
It's a great question. I feel like Sam, what's funny is, in real life, I'm the car guy. Like, my first car was a 69 Camaro. Like, I worked on it. 67 Corvette. You have a 67 Camaro? You do? No shit. But yeah, I grew up like, when I was going to high school, I had fan belts and spark plugs in my glove box. And like I could, like I'm the car guy. So it's funny that Jensen plays the car guy. But I feel like Sam is the opposite. I feel like Sam is so practical. I think he's into whatever is the smartest way to get from this place to that place. So it would probably be like a hybrid or an electric car, or it would be like a big old like Suburban or something that he could keep a lot of supplies in, and clothes and computers and printers and weapons. And I feel like he would look for the either most economical or most kind of useful way to get from point A to point B. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we know that you have a pretty amazing wine collection at home. So I'm just wondering how many bottles are going home with you in your suitcase? Tell the truth.
Depends how late I stay on probably, in all fairness, like we have been opening them up on the way home and carrying on throughout the night. So it'll probably just be 3 or 4. Yeah. And I like wine. We actually had a bottle of wine at lunch with the cast, and kind of like it talked about wine and where it comes from and why it's cool or who gives a shit. I'm a big. Have we ever asked? Are you a wino?
No. Yeah. I like bad wine.
What'd you say?
I like really bad wine, so I don't pretend.
Cheap date?
Yes.
Like cheap?
Yes.
Like what's your favorite box?
I'm not answering that question. I may have a box up in my room.
Yes! I love that. You know what? And I was even saying to Reeve, because Reeve was trying the wine, is like, this is great. He's like, I usually just like cheap wine. I was like, dude, if you like cheap wine, drink cheap wine. like, the best bottle of wine is not the one that has the most numbers, it's the one that you want to have another drink of. That's what wine is about, right? So, very cool. We'll have to cut open a box sometime and talk vino. Oh, love you.
My question is, if Dean from Gilmore Girls, I'm sorry, I can't remember his last name, but if he...
Forrester.
Sorry. How would he react if he encountered a ghost or any other monster?
Say it again.
How would Dean react if he met a ghost?
He'd be like, damn it, I should have left Stars Hollow. If Dean from Gilmore Girls ran into a ghost or a supernatural being, I don't think he'd be too happy. He wouldn't know what to do. He wouldn't back down. We saw him fight Jess and Tristan, and he certainly didn't back down from them. But I think he might be outmatched. I think he might need to call his brother from another mother to get some help. So hopefully, in the revival, Dean doesn't run into any ghosts. Thank you. Love your shirt.
So I was wondering, it's kind of an old question, so sorry for recycling, but I was wondering if there was ever a script or an episode that you actually wished you could play Dean, not Sam.
Yeah.
Which one?
The submarine one from this year. I loved it. Did you not like it?
She's never seen the show.
Because you were like, it was good? What was it?
She's just...
As time goes by?
As time goes by?
Was that it?
Yes. Is that the one where he goes back in time?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. That, I was so jealous that he got to do that.
Being a pain in the ass. If she doesn't give a shit.
Kind of fat though. I would have had to cut my hair. I don't know, I was a stowaway, right? I could have been able. No, I wouldn't have cut it. Well, thank you very much. I think I'm a big.
We should talk during Sam.
I don't want to say World War II fan because that sounds like yay World War II. I'm fascinated by. I'm like a World War II buff, I suppose. I'm fascinated by the history. I'm fascinated by the time in human development. And so when he got that script, I was so jealous. The only good part was that it filmed like 4 or 5 days filmed before Christmas break, and then 2 or 3 days filmed, 3 or 4 days filmed after Christmas break. And because he had all those scenes that were in the submarine, and I wasn't in those scenes, I got time off, so I got like an extended vacation. And I did love my scenes that I had that episode with Cassifer. And y'all know we call it Cassifer, right? Like all of the scripts, whenever Nisha is playing Lucifer, like it says, Sam, what are you talking about? Cassifer. I don't even know why I was doing this. Sam, doing what? Cassifer. Well, pretending to bubble. So I got the cool scene with Cassifer, where Cassifer kind of reveals to Sam what the truth is. So, yeah. Thank you. That was cool.
Sorry, Jibland. I don't want to break your heart, but can we do this thing?